what are some of the common voices we continue to hear from the field, right? What is on top of minds of teacher education programs in the country right now, whether you are a program that has been using Exxat for a few years or just transitioning onto the system. And as I think about it, there are really four tranches and four buckets that most of teacher education programs are considering right now. I know uh, placing, first of all, getting students prepared in the student teaching profession is a task by itself. But on top of it, trying to understand where should the student teachers be placed. Do the schools and districts have enough capacity? What are the different processes along with applications and everything else a student or a teacher education program needs to consider, along with what districts are able to accept those students at what grade levels, what subject areas should they be interested in. So there's definitely a lot of discussion in the country right now in terms of best practices around placement coordination. Along with placement coordination, once the students are out in the field, there's also work involved in terms of, hey, do I have the right forms that I'm sending out to all of my mentor teachers and supervisors? Are they completing the right evaluations? Are the students turning in the right timesheets? Are the right application forms being put into the system post the praxis examination? So there's a lot of work in terms of understanding how the paperwork could be better coordinated. If you are a program who is looking at this paperwork and keeping that maybe in your LMS system, Google folders and stuff like that, we have noticed that, if there is a separate system for placement management and a separate system to track all of this paperwork, those two systems sometimes don't interact with each other. And when it comes time from an accreditation perspective, it makes difficult to coordinate all of this information. Along with that, you actually have compliance and certification considerations. There are state specific requirements and guidance depending upon the state that you work out of in terms of meeting those state specific accreditation requirements. Students have to complete the background checks. There are mandates that have to be completed based upon your program. And last but not the least, all of this goes into accreditation readiness, right? Norma and Stacy will talk about this. They are preparing for accreditation right now. So if you think about having multiple systems and having data disaggregated in multiple system and trying to make sense out of that, it becomes a logistical nightmare. So those are the four tranches at least that we have seen from an exact perspective. But Stacy and Norma would love to get your perspective here also.
Do you want me to just add in a little bit,
Yeah,
Kunal?
Norma, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, for us, I mean, you've hit upon it a little bit, and then I'll let Stacy add on anything I might forget. We were using multiple platforms, so like the internal LMS system. We were using Blackboard. We have a banner system. We have a lot of differences. We even had an internal fieldwork form that we were using. So, and I will mention for anyone that has other vendors, we had used a previous vendor, and one of the issues we were having is just it didn't fit our needs. It was increasingly getting more expensive. And something that I will tell you that is actually an advantage for Exxat, Kunal had mentioned that they're newer to the teacher ed realm, but our health sciences programs were already using it. And so when we learned about it, we realized that this could be a really valuable tool, and we're able to share costs at the university level because it's something you can use in more than one program. So those were some pieces, and I would definitely just emphasize what Kunal said, having everything living in one place, from the types of fieldwork placement, actually tracking what's happening in the classroom settings, and then also gathering evidence of performance are all valuable things that Exxat can do.
Fantastic. Stacy?
Yeah, I'll just echo what Nori said. I mean, in addition to having one LMS and then using email and then using spreadsheets, on top of spreadsheets, just that sounds like such an easy way to describe it. But now we have some members in our team are using Google Sheets, and some are using SharePoint, and some are still using a very static Excel spreadsheet. So that alone was bringing so much variation and confusion and not being able to find things. So really just having this centralized location for everyone, not needing to bother anybody through email. Hey, can you send me this file? All of that has been eliminated and has really made us so much more efficient.